Gee, oh, it's still working on. There we go. Hey, everybody, how are you? Welcome to Starting Up Smart today. And today, I am blessed to have Kimball Redd in front of me, and he is an insurance expert. And when I say insurance expert, insurance for you, health insurance for you and your family. And he really specializes in a very specific niche, and that niche is small businesses with less than 50 or less employees is kind of his sweet spot. So anyway, listen, folks, I want you to learn and get some value from Kimball today. I already have. I've been talking to him for 10 minutes, and I learned 3 things that I did not know about health insurance. And now he's going to get more calls from me because that's what's going to happen. Anyway, Kimball, today I want to start with a really simple question. And I know this seems complicated to some of us. What is open enrollment and why should any of us care?
So open enrollment applies mostly to group plans. It also applies to marketplace government plans. You shouldn't care at all about it. 99% of the time, we can find a solution to backdoor any open enrollment issues at all. So typically, if you join a company, you have to sign up when you sign on with the company or once a year during open enrollment. What I do, my individually underwritten private plans, open enrollment doesn't matter. I can sign people up any day of the year. It doesn't really matter what time it is, what time of the year. And then even if someone's on a marketplace plan, there actually are some tricks. I mentioned the one, there's several other ones. You have to have a qualified life event. It's not that hard to figure out a way to qualify.
Okay.
My
we're talking open enrollment, right? Open enrollment, that's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, to get to bypass open enrollment rules, essentially. Right. So if someone needs a marketplace plan and I can't find any other qualified life event and they don't qualify for a private plan, I could have them apply for Medicaid. They'll get denied immediately, and getting denied insurance coverage is a qualified life event. So all of a sudden we have a qualified life event, we can send them up. So there's usually a way to get people insured any time of the year, regardless of their situation.
See, I learned that today. What? They disqualified me? What? That's a qualifying event? I love it. I absolutely just love that. Well, Kimball, we're going to talk about individuals. We're going to talk about small businesses, both. What's the biggest mistake individuals make when buying their health insurance?
Probably the biggest mistake is maybe they think they're stuck on a plan until the end of the year and can't make a change, which isn't true at all. We can fix that, as we already mentioned. But I think the biggest mistake people make is they're paying too much out of ignorance because they don't know there's any other options. And that's what I do, is I help people save money on health insurance.
Got it. Okay.
Specifically, the private plans that I do are not ACA compliant by choice, meaning they're health underwritten, so we're managing our risk pool. So anybody that can qualify for a health underwritten plan is typically going to be twice the coverage at half the cost. So if you're healthy and you're going along paying a lot of money for your insurance, you never use it and you're frustrated, there might be an alternative that would be a lot better insurance for significantly reduced cost.
Okay. Does that, I hate to ask this question, but I'm going to be 60 here in a few months. Would I still qualify for a private plan? I am pretty healthy.
As long as you can pass underwriting, absolutely. So age doesn't matter. We're looking for things that we can calculate on the private side. Chronic health conditions, diabetes, epilepsy, seizures. Some of those might be a disqualification for the private plan. There's other options. They're not going to be as cheap, but for those that are healthy and you don't have a lot of medical pre-existing conditions, the private can be a good option up until you're 65. After 65, you have Medicare for the rest of your life.
Okay, got it. That's a whole other topic of discussion. That's for sure. Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk about small business then. So, which is most of the base, the people we talk to. What's the biggest mistake that a small business made? Yeah, I know. This is a loaded question, right? Okay, go.
The biggest mistake that I see is people signing up for a really expensive group plan, also not knowing there's other options. So what I see is, this is typically how it comes about. you're growing. You started out as a solopreneur, now you got 10 employees, and someone walks into your office and says, I need insurance, otherwise I'm going to take another offer in another company.
Right.
So the business owner hurries and signs up for the first group plan that they can find to keep one person happy. And from there on, they're stuck with this really expensive group plan. And a group plan is not a good decision, in my opinion, for several reasons. First of all, it's really, really expensive. Second of all, it's typically a one size fits all. And what you need as a 60-year-old business owner might be completely different than what your 21-year-old line worker, receptionist, whoever needs. And then third, and probably most impactful, if you offer a group plan to your employees are no longer eligible for a subsidy on the marketplace, which means you're spending a lot of money to try and help your employees, but you might actually be taking away their free or cheap option by spending money to help them. So it's a little counterintuitive. So the recommendation I give is you can still help out your employees. I can help you, walk you through, give you some ideas, some suggestions on either offering a stipend or a reimbursement. So you can offer them money, let each individual have an individualized plan that's based on their needs. You can pay for 50% of it. You can give them a couple $100 on their paycheck to go towards it. There's a lot of different flexibility there. But those that are healthy enough to qualify for a private plan, we'll get them a private plan that's going to be better value for the money. Those that qualify for a subsidy on the marketplace, either because of income or family size, they might get it for really cheap or free. And there's no reason to pay for an expensive plan when they've got a subsidized marketplace plan available. So my recommendation is provide them some money and provide them some resources and let them have an individual plan.
Resources meaning Kimball gets to come into the office and talk to everybody about their insurance.
And I do, and I'll even bring lunch. So I'll do a lunch and learn, bring in Subway and tell everybody kind of what their options are and go from there. There's a couple other benefits, in my opinion, to the individual stipend or reimbursement. Number one, it takes the entire HR piece off of your plate. You don't have to answer a question about insurance ever because you don't know what they signed up for. You said, I gave you some money and I gave you contact. Don't ask me, it's your plan. So you wipe that off your plate. And then the other benefit that I think is maybe overlooked sometimes is if you offer a group plan, if you offer it to one employee, you have to give it to everybody. So you have to offer the same to every person, where a stipend or a reimbursement is not regulated. So if you wanted to offer more to one employee and less to one, you can. So you can build it out based on performance, longevity, anything else you want. I've got a client that does $200 a month if they work 20 hours a week. She does $300 a month if they work 30 hours a week. She does $400 if they work 40 hours a week. And at the time that we met, most of her employees are working about 20 something hours. So this was designed to help them, encourage them to work a few more hours. But you can base it off of just what it's kind of like negotiating a bonus. Give a little bit more to one, give a little bit less to one, use it how you need to incentivize the outcome you want.
Interesting. Okay, well, I love it, but I want to recap a few things that I just heard. Make sure I'm hearing this right, Kimball, because what I'm hearing is if I have a small business and let's say I have 40 employees, you're saying that my employees are probably going to get better insurance for less money than if I were put them on a group plan and be involved in this open enrollment and all this other messy stuff.
Yep.
Also, it's eliminating the issue of me having to have somebody to answer their health insurance questions because they went out and got it on their own. And the other thing I heard was you actually get to kind of say, well, this person's working more hours in a month, so I'm going to give them more of a stipend for their insurance. Now, I've got a question. Is there a pre-tax deduction happening like the old cafeteria plans? Is that something you offer or help assist with? Or
no, typically there are some solutions for that. There's something called a QSERA. There's an ICRA. Both of those kind of handcuff you on what you're able to offer. So most of the time, if you just give them a stipend, you're giving them essentially cash in an envelope, but they're going to get so much more value out of that money that's going to offset any tax. So it is taxable income to them,
Right.
but they're going to come out way ahead by being able
Yeah.
to either get a free plan on the marketplace or get a individually
Got it.
underwritten better
Okay.
value plan. So
Okay. Perfect. Now we're talking about mistakes businesses make, and tell me what your opinion is of a small business of, it's got 10 or 20 employees not offering any benefits.
well, the downside of that, of course, is if you're trying to retain and keep talent, insurance benefits are a huge perk, especially to certain demographics and certain generations. Right. But sometimes employees actually value the benefits more than they value the raise. So not offering anything means at some point those employees may go looking for a different job. It does vary. I mean, you've got married couples, and if you've got a spouse that works for a school district or the government or something, they've got great insurance and they don't really care about the benefits. That's not going to be a problem. But if you've got a single income family, benefits are going to be really important. So as long as you're taking care of them, it doesn't need to be in the form of a group plan. They just need to know that you're taking care of them, which is why I recommend, if you offer a benefit, I always recommend line iteming it out on their paycheck: medical benefit, stipend, a couple $100, whatever you put on there. I've had companies that say, we'll just give everybody a $2 an hour raise to cover it. That works really great for about 6 months until you get a new employee and they forget that you gave them a raise. And then they start looking at their paycheck, like, how come I don't get benefits? And if I go over to X company, they'll give it to me. So as long as they know you're giving it to them and what it's for. And typically, if I'm meeting with a company or an individual and they're offered some kind of benefit, I'm going to tell them, look, you're going to get a lot more value for this money you're getting. We're going to get a lot more mileage out of this than if they were to offer a group plan that costs quite a bit more. So as long as they're pointing out that this is provided for this intent, we're not forgetting about you. We're just providing it in a different package.
Awesome. Well, I've got one more question for you, Kimball, and I for some reason I feel like I'm going to want to invite you back because there's a couple of more questions I still have, but we don't have a lot of time today. But the question is this: been around insurance a long time. Is it just kind of a set it and forget it, or how often should I go back and check up on my insurance? When should I do a review? When should I call a professional? Kind of, how does that work?
Definitely not set it and forget it. So
no. Okay.
I have
no set it, forget it. Got it.
I usually tell my clients, like, we need to check in at least annually, make sure whatever we put in place this year is good for next year. But people shouldn't wait until the end of the year. If there's major changes in income, family status, medical needs, anything else, we need to talk middle of the year, whatever time that happens, and we can see if what we've got is the right solution for what they need. So yeah, there's going to be life changes that are going to completely change what you need. And at some point in your life, or in some point due to medical issues or needs, insurance takes on a whole new perspective where price is no longer the most important piece. Coverage is the most important piece. If you're healthy and you don't go to the doctor a lot, then maybe we want to save on cost, and that's fine. But yeah, when something happens, they should call me. My clients need to call me. And it shouldn't be set it and forget it until you turn 65.
All right. There is no such thing as the Ron Popeil of insurance, huh? Just not going to happen. Right? Yep. Don't set it, forget it. Well, Kimball, I appreciate you being here with me today. I definitely want to invite you back. There's something I learned today that I want to share with everybody, and I learned it from you and my controller on the same day, because she was talking about what you teach, and I want to come back to that another day. I really appreciate you being here today. I do have any last words, Kimball? I do have a special offer I want to make to everybody, but
no, I'm excited for Started Up Smart. It's going to be a great event. I know at least half the panel, or 3/4 of them, respect all of them. It's going to be an amazing event. So come if you can.
I love it. All right, everybody, listen up. Tickets, $347. But today, you can get a ticket for $99. And guess what? There's only 320 seats, and there are already seats taken. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you need to get your ticket sooner than later. Go to startitupsmart.com. Yes, this is the website you're going to see. You're going to see the keynote speakers, guest speakers. You're going to see some of these good-looking folks down here. Yep, all of them, including the one you're looking at right now. There he is. Yep, right there. Anyway, you've got also, when you come down here to actually buy a ticket, what I wanted to share with you is this. Right there, you can see it says coupon code. And where it says coupon code, if you'll enter Utah 2024, that ticket will go from $349 to $99. And we would love to have you there. Listen, this event is about you, and it's about us bringing in the subject matter experts like Kimball. My guesstimate, if you were to talk to Kimball and actually listen to him for a half an hour, you'd probably save the $99 100-fold over in one simple conversation. He's going to take the stage and educate you. Please use this. Utah 2024. Buy a ticket today, and we'll see you there. We appreciate you, love you, and can't wait to help you. Thanks, Kimball. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.